Well, 2012, you had a good run, but it's been 5.5 months and we now have our first major disappointment. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I just want to get this out of the way. If you guys stay for the end of the video, I promise you will laugh. Just saying. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is a movie that follows Abraham Lincoln and he hunts vampires. That's the simpleton retard way I could put it, but the way the movie goes is Abraham Lincoln, his mother is murdered when he's a kid by a vampire, so he just sets out on this lifelong goal to kill all the vampires, and he meets this guy along the way. His name is Henry. He's a vampire, so he takes him under his wing, trains Lincoln, he sets him out on a bunch of missions to kill vampires, and Abe eventually becomes president, and, you know, things go on from there. Now, like, I've read Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter book, so going into this movie, I expected it to be very good, at least very good. Because first of all, the writer of the movie is the writer of the book, so he's adapting his own book into the movie. It's not some other guy who's just changing everything, it's the actual guy who wrote the book. Two, the trailers looked really cool. I liked the stylistic action that was in it. Benjamin Walker looked really good in it, and it looked like it could be a really cool action movie. Even though that would deviate from the book, I would be okay with that. And what we get is just not very good. It saddens me to say, but it's just not good. Seriously, I brought a friend with me who's also read the book. We were just sitting there like half the time staring at each other like, what is this garbage? What did Seth Grahame-Smith do to his own book? What went through his mind when he was writing the bullshit he was writing for the screen? Alright, positives. The acting in the movie is all fine throughout the board. Benjamin Walker is really good as Abe Lincoln. I could see him having a career. Dominic Cooper is great. Henry is my favorite character in the book, and he played him as well as he could for what he was written to, because the way Henry is written here is it's just awful. Without spoiling anything, in the book, Henry's motivations are very clear. He has a very distinct mindset. He knows what he's doing. Here, it's just all over the place. He didn't even have any motivations that I could tell. It didn't make sense. Anthony Mackie is good. Rufus Sewell, he's good as the villain. That doesn't matter at all. And another thing, Timur blah blah blah, the guy who directed Wanted, the action, the way he directs it, I liked most of it. Whenever Abraham Lincoln was kicking some vampire ass, it was cool to watch. However, that happens like 4 times in the movie, so every other time me and my friend were just sitting there kind of laughing and crying at the same time because one of our favorite books was being adapted into garbage. I don't understand what was going through Seth Grahame-Smith's head, because he just changed everything. This isn't even Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, the book adaptation. It's just a completely different story. I'm gonna spoil a few things from the book, but that doesn't matter because the movie is completely different. So I'll stay away from spoilers for the movie, but the book, that's on the table, so you know that going in. In the book, they spent about 100 of the 320 pages on Abraham Lincoln's childhood when he's a boy. It spends a lot of time developing his character and what shapes him as a man as he goes on through life. Here, it's 2 minutes and it has nothing to do with anything that went on in the book. It's so awful. And there's a certain vampire in the book that kills Abraham Lincoln's wife. He's the same one who kills her in the movie. However, the way he meets his maker is so drastically changed that I actually got pissed in my chair. I'm serious. I was just steaming from that. And there's so many plot holes in this movie. Like, not that there weren't plot holes in the book, but they were backed up and you were still enjoying yourself because the book itself is historically accurate, just as in vampires. Here, it's not historically accurate, like, at all. Like, okay, you could consider this a spoiler, but I don't. It's a very minuscule part of the movie. Early on in the movie, they established that vampires can't fight each other. They can't hurt each other. There's some invisible, stupid-ass force field around them, so they can't fight each other. Magically, at the climax, they can fight each other. What the hell is that? Oh, why did they have to do this? I actually still want to see this book adapted well, because if they adapt it well, do like a 3-hour epic, it would be amazing. I'd love to see that, but that's never gonna happen now. Thank you, Grahame-Smith, for raping your own book, and you wrote Dark Shadows, so fuck you. I hope you never get a writing job again. I'm going to give this movie a small popcorn for the positives I spoke of before. Everything else, don't go see the movie. It's not worth your time, unfortunately. I saw something else tonight that comes out next week that's worth your time. Stay tuned for that. So what did you guys think of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Have you read the book? How do you feel about how badly they've changed it? Write your beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button up there. Because if you don't, look, I don't have anything to say. Just watch this video of Matty P. He was with me at the movie. Here's his reaction to the movie.
So Matt, what'd you think of the movie?
It was absolute
Lincoln Vampire Hunter. It ain't all. It is a totally different thing. It is just absolutely stinking horrible, boy. It's worse than them homeless people. I hate it. It's horrible. Those people who made it better be gotten ready to be beaten by Matty P. Matty P is pissed, boy.